What is the modern Chinese script? Well, in the last video, I discussed the scripts that came after the Shang dynasty, so those were the Bronze Age scripts during the Zhou dynasty, and the big and small seal scripts used during the Warring States period and the Qin dynasties, respectively. Now, after this period came the Han period, and during the Han dynasty came the clerical scripts, which is more colloquially known as Hanzi. Now, Hanzi literally translates to the script of the Han. Han refers to the Han peoples between the Yellow and Yangtze River valleys, and Zi refers to characters. Now, after the Han period came a larger period of disunion within China. Now, this was the Three Kingdoms period, and then it was interrupted by a short dynasty called the Jin, and then after this was a larger period of disunion. Now, this lasted for some 300 years, and during this period was developed the running script and the grass script. Now, the running script and grass scripts, respectively, were used mainly for scholarly works and decoration and calligraphy, much like how Arabic has its own calligraphy for decoration in the Quran and the Ahadith. They have this very similarly for the Chinese script for other scholarly works. Now, after this period, there was really not much change to the Chinese script. What I mean is, almost 1500 years, it didn't change really at all. Now, there were maybe some developments, some slight changes, but it was relatively the same. Now, after this, in the mid-20th century, came the Mao period. Now, Mao was the leader of the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, after he won the civil war in China between the nationalists, which was the Kuomintang, who fled to Taiwan after they lost, and the CCP was victorious over them, and so they took over mainland China. Now, Mao wanted to significantly reform the Chinese language, and I agree. I think this was a pretty great idea. I mean, if you try to write traditional characters, I mean, come on, it's like writing Tibetan or Mongolian. It's ridiculous. And I personally still can't even write characters very well. I can write Pinyin, which was another great invention by Mao's reforms. Now, Mao brought together many great scholars for the Chinese language, and he basically said to them that he wanted to reform the Chinese language totally. Now, many of them came up with several ideas. One of them was Pinyin. Pinyin is a Romanized style of writing Chinese in the English alphabet. Obviously, they have tones. It's much easier for me to read. That's what I mainly use. And then they came up with the method of simplifying the language. Now, they simplified it. They removed strokes, simplified much more traditional, complex characters, and they even brought back some old Shang oracle bone inscriptions and simplified those. So, for instance, Shang is the word for mountain, is another, representation of this, though this was used quite similarly throughout all of the Chinese script variations. Another one could be Che. So Che refers to a chariot in Old Chinese, now it refers to car. Now, if you like these videos and are passionate about history and linguistics like I am, then follow me.